This video will introduce you to using the Scratch website for computer animation. The first step that you need to do is go to this website here, scratch.mit.edu. Again, scratch.mit.edu. And if it's not loaded as a bookmark yet up here on the bookmarks bar, if you would click on this star button, it's going to add it to the bookmark bar and click on Done. Most likely it's been done for you, but in case not, you can add it up that way. Once you come into the site, click on Create. For those of you that have been using code.org for a few weeks, you'll see the script has a similar format where it looks like Lego blocks that you connect together. The difference being is you're not given a result that you need to create the script for. This is you coding from the beginning to make your own creation. So let me give you an overview of the Scratch window. Right here is where you'll see your animation occur. The green flag is typically what you use to start your animation, the red stop sign to stop. You can name your creation right up here. We're just using the site as a guest. Back on the home page, if I use my back button here, back on the home page here, if you choose to join Scratch, you would set up an account. If you do that, then you can save your creations so that they're available for every time you use the site. For our purposes in here, we use the free version. I'm sorry, it is always free. For our purposes in here, we use the guest version, just using Create. Therefore, our projects won't be saved from week to week when we work on Scratch. So an overview of the window then. Down here would be where you see your sprites. Your character in your animation is called a sprite. The default sprite is this cat. You'll also see backdrops stored over in this section here. These would be a listing of your script based upon their category. So the blue ones represent motion scripts. Purples are for looks. This more pink color for sounds, and so on. The ones you'll want to be familiar with at first are the motion scripts in blue and the event scripts in this kind of darker brown or gold color. Okay, so here's some basics. Here's my sprite that I choose to use. I want to start with the event when clicked. So this will show that any script that I list here will start once I click on this right here because these match. Okay, so if I click on the motion script, I attach that. I set the variable here to 50 steps, and then I'll test it out. So when clicked, there, and that's roughly 50 steps. For those of you using code.org, you'll remember that site represented things in pixels. So something was moving roughly 50 pixels. It's a similar thing here. Okay, so this window over here represents where all the script is. The script can be pulled away. If you don't want it, you just pull it back over here, just like you saw in the code.org window. Okay, so that's some basics with some of the scripts. You can drag and move your sprite if you choose for it to start somewhere other than in the middle. Make sure that's stopped. And down here you'll see your coordinates representing the position of your arrow. And that'll help you when you want your sprite to move from one portion to another. Then you can hover your mouse in the section of the window where you want the sprite to end up. You'll notice the coordinates, because then you can use some of these scripts here that have the sprite actually go to an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. So those are some things you can do. Available in Scratch would be some step-by-steps, some how-tos and things over here. These are just some self-help things that are listed in here that you can use as you're learning. For this first lesson, this will just be kind of your overview of putting scripts on, seeing if you can get your sprite to move. Okay, Let's look at putting on a backdrop. So I'm over here in this section here that controls backdrops. New backdrop, and I'm going to choose a backdrop from the library. Scratch has a library of backdrops that are already ready. And here would be some right here. So I'm going to choose the castle and click on OK here at the bottom. All right, so there's my backdrop ready to go. It lists two backdrops because that means it has the plain white backdrop, and then I have this one right here. You can also add another sprite. So I'm in the sprite section right here. I'll choose sprite from the library. Lots of ones to choose from. I'll choose the butterfly and click on OK. And so now I have two sprites available. The thing that you'll need to be aware of is when you want to add script to control a certain sprite, you need to have that sprite selected here first. So now when I add any script to move that sprite and click, it only moves that sprite there. So I would click here to select my other sprite. Same thing again. Building the script, turning this sprite. We'll set this one to 90 degrees. So now I'll move this one back a little bit. So now when clicked, this one moved a little bit because of the script attached to this sprite, and this one turned because of the script attached to this sprite. So it's very important that you have the right sprite selected down here before you put in your script. So take some time and just experiment with a few of these script things and practice putting in a sprite and picking a backdrop.